Hello and welcome to the MyGuru online GMAT classroom. My name is Stefan and I am MyGuru's Director for Online Tutoring. Today we're going to take a look at a sample sentence correction from the official GMAT diagnostic at the front of the official guide to the GMAT. And we're going to look at a problem with a very short underlined section and talk about how you just look at the easier items first and the specific changes to not get bogged down in goofy idiom and how it sounds. So as always, we're going to begin by writing out the question number and the answer choices to facilitate process of elimination, along with a line where we will put the error if we identify it as it's written. So let's pretend that this time we don't see what the error is as it's written. We know that we're talking about the earliest writing and that it later merged. So if there's past tense here, we need past tense prior. So that means that we're looking at the tense errors and we can eliminate anything that incorrectly uses the present tense, such as choice A does because begin is out. We then see choice C, it changes it to beginning and that's out. And then we get down to the two issues of really strange irregular verb began versus begun, which can be really difficult to evaluate. So instead, we can move to the other obvious error that's happening in choices D and E, which is this it that shows up. So we've got this pair of its, and when we read the sentence using the it, we say, according to scholars, the earliest writing was probably not a direct rendering of speech, but it was more likely that it began, or it was more than likely begun. Now, the it always has to refer back to the closest possible antecedent or noun, and the closest noun in the original is this direct rendering of speech, and that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the earliest writing. So this it is an incorrect pronoun agreement. And we don't even actually have to adjudicate whether it's supposed to be the irregular begun or began, which may have been the most difficult thing to evaluate on the sentence. So we reread it just to make sure. We've got, according to scholars, the earliest writing was probably not a direct rendering of speech, but more than likely began as a separate and distinct symbolic system of communication and only later merged with spoken language. And that correctly articulates the comparison and also gets rid of all of the weirdness around the pronoun.